Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame, and this is the recap review for Our Kind of People. Look, I can't help it. One of my friends, every time she talks to me about this show, that's the way she says the name of the show. And so now it's just starting to stick with me and rubbing off on me. But like every time she say it, that's the way she does it instead of just saying the name of the show. But anyway, so the episode started out with Teddy being out of the hospital and his family is celebrating his birthday. Everybody is there except for Raymond, who is Leah's husband, because you know they're going all the way through. She told him to get up out because of everything that she has found out thus far about his alignment with his ex fiance, wife, or whatever she was to him, whatever. Y'all know Alex. So, um, the daddy wanted to talk to Leah alone, and he made the kids basically leave by telling them to take his gifts up to his office. And so, because of everything that's going on, like everybody is all up in arms after finding out that he has Parkinson's, and he trying to kind of save face. And in my mind, and forever will be in my heart and mind, I believe that he is, even though he's in a very vulnerable, position right now. I feel like he is still playing her and using her to his advantage, which I'm gonna address later on, um, in another sense, because he over here like, well, I know that the partners, the other people that are on the board, they are waiting and hoping that you fail and don't make it because of your diagnosis. But I want to basically kind of have her to be the one who's holding the reins right now and make things pop. And so she was like, well, I'm taking care of you right now, but you're taking care of me. And it's like she feels so honored. And I'm like, girl, you already know at this point, you should know your daddy is at any moment going to snatch the rug from underneath you. Why is it that you don't never understand that or remember that? I don't understand. So anyway, we see Angela in bed with her man. What's his name? Tariq. Um, y'all know Lance Gross. And they're talking, and so she wants to know how he's doing after finding out what really happened to his father, which we all know is look, that's a lie. Anything that suits Teddy is what it's gonna be. And if he gotta kill people, or if her aunt is the one who killed that man, it is what it is. We just gonna keep on lying, running with the lie of this man committed suicide, when he himself has even said that's not the type of man my daddy was. Well, we find out that he is basically masking the pain with, look, I was gonna say something else that the young folks are saying, but I'm not gonna do it. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do that. He's basically up through and around here, just having sex like crazy. Now, despite the fact that she's enjoying it, she really wants to know where his mental is and how he really is doing. And he's trying to make it seem like he all right, he all right, but he's not all right. So anyway, we see Leah um later on talking to her husband. Um, Angela came and talked to the daddy. The daddy invited her to this big birthday soiree that they're going to be having later on. And, she really feels like there's still some sort of a connection there, especially since they've had a moment when all this stuff happened in the hospital. And she really didn't even think that she would get to that point with him, given their history, which is non existent. But anyway, Raymond decided that he was gonna roll up to the house, despite what Leah said, which was to get up out of here. And he's like, "No, this is my house. I'm fighting for my marriage and all this other stuff." And so she's looking at him like, "How dare you think that you're gonna come back up in here as if nothing has happened when you over here acting like you done lost your mind and fraternizing with the enemy, who is your ex?" And he tired. He is very tired. At some point in time, I don't remember if it was this point or not, but he let her know that he read the emails that were sent back and forth, and that he would have never even had to reach out to her if she would have been working on his behalf to get his company back, because he over here and there was just seeming like there was no end in sight as far as her father just having dominion over his company. And so she really wanted to get out now because it's like, how dare you? How can I even trust you at all when you talking about you want your family back and you're not leaving and all this other stuff when you over here going through my emails and things? I can't even trust you. What you talking about? I don't even know who we're supposed to be right now. No, child. He's on a rampage. He has gone to the partner, the person who he has been partnered up with. And y'all know this is a family business. Everybody for like 4 generations have been doing just strictly this. Even got the son in on it, and the son don't want no parts of this foolishness. And I mean, it is what it is, and I understand why. So anyway, he wrote up on the man, his partner, and he over here like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he like, look, go on ahead and sign this paperwork because the only way I can move forward with what I'm trying to do on my end to get the business back from Teddy is for you to sign your signature. He was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I will let my lawyer look over it, and we'll get more into that later on. So yeah, you can tell he's very smug and he's just so matter of fact, and you can hear and see the white privilege all up and through the atmosphere when it comes to this man. So it is what it is. So we later on see Angela at home with her daughter, and a situation actually happened. She was out with her daddy, and I don't even think that part happened yet. I ain't gonna get into that yet. But anyway, she was talking to her daughter, and her daughter was like, yeah, I'm grown. So she was like, you're growing. I am very proud of you and the progress that you've made, but you are growing. Yeah, that's what you're doing. So anyway, Leah had a meeting with like people that were on the board, and it had just let out. So Angela came in the room and was like, hey, I was in the building. I want to run something by you. And you could tell that Leah was not there. She was not present. And so she looking like her like, sis, what's wrong? You all right? She trying to lie, barely responding and all this. She was like, now, you know, we spent, I don't know how many days together in the hospital over our daddy's body. Now, I could tell when something's wrong. So she basically let her know that, you know, she was feeling some type of way about her husband. And, you know, she actually opened up to her. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, are y'all making us think they really are trying to heal and move forward? Or are these just vulnerable moments where she's letting her in, but she's still on guard about Angela? Anyway, Angela was like, girl, look, what we're going to do is everything is canceled for today. You can go ahead and take everything off your calendar. We're going to have a sister's day out where we're going to pamper ourselves and do nothing work related. We ain't going to think about these people. It's going to be what it is. So they went somewhere. They sitting by the pool. They drinking and they talking. And they actually had some more bonding time where they basically were going to drink as they ask each other question after question. So she ended up asking Leah what was going on with her. And she was like, well, some stuff going on with my husband. And, well, I think that Angela went first. And she said that Tariq acts a certain type of way, and he's not responding the way that she felt like he would respond, and he is just not who he's supposed to be, and he's basically using sex as his way to avoid actually talking about his feelings and working through what he's feeling. And yes, it feels amazing because he's using his tongue for everything but to talk, but I need for him to talk. And so Leah was basically able to actually relate. She was like, our sex life has always been great, but we're going through some stuff right now. I don't know how I feel about him right now, and I ain't here for it. And so she had a moment, and she was like, well, you know what? We gonna sit here. We gonna drink some more. We need a refill. And so she get up to go get a refill. And she was like, girl, you do know that they will come back. And so she was like, you know what? Never mind. So the partner, her husband's partner, done rolled up and was like, fancy me seeing you here. Instead of working, you over here drinking by the pool. And so she was like, look, I'm taking a day for myself. A lot of stuff is going on. My father's fine. I'm fine. Whatever. I spent $2,000 a week on a personal trainer. So I should be able to allow people to bask in the glory of all this. Hopefully somebody appreciates it. This man said, well, I appreciate it. Don't nobody else appreciate it. I was like, sir, let's not do this. But anyway, so he was like, look, I know what's going on with the company and all this other stuff, and it ain't looking good. And I know what your daddy got going on. I know what your husband got going on or whatever. And so he was like, look, forget all that. You looking how you looking, and you know what it's hidden for. This man that gave her a key card to his bungalow that he's staying in while his house is being renovated or whatever. Child, I was like, what? And she was like, what are you giving this to me for? I'm like, girl, you know why that man giving that to you. I'm like, girl, is she gonna politely put it in her purse? And I'm like, okay, I understand that you feel some type of way because of what's going on between you and your husband right now, but let's not be rash. Let's not be rash. So then we see her husband on the phone because I think Teddy called him. And so he was like, yeah, ain't nobody got time for this. I want my company back. And he was like, yeah, you might have thought that you felt my wrath before, but you haven't felt anything yet. And I'm surprised that my daughter let you off the leash so early after what you've done, but I haven't forgiven you. This man done went off. Yeah, he don't even know what did hit him already. Like, he already don't even know what's going on. He don't know what is going on. But yeah, so Raymond was like, yeah, whatever. And basically was like, yeah, have a good, happy birthday. Cause it's still his birthday. Child, like, he is mad. Like, he really is trying to get that company back. And it's just a lot going on. Well, now everybody is getting ready for the soiree. And it looks like it's going to be a situation where everybody's going to be a flapper and all this. Like, it's like the Depression. You know, a lot of people are obsessed with the, dang it, why did I forget the name of it? With the 20s and all of that. But it was something else I wanted to say. I don't know what, not the Great Depression. It was something else I wanted to say. The Great Gatsby type situations. Like, a lot of, I understand that, of course, Black people existed back then, but it's like a lot of Black people are obsessed with Great Gatsby themes and certain things like that. I was just like, okay. All right. I don't know. It's like in a lot of these TV shows and movies, I feel like it's been done to death. Like, there's nothing else that y'all like. So now, like, everything nowadays is being oversaturated with the 90s. And I'm here for it. It ain't gotten to a point where it's annoying yet, where it's like, dang, y'all can't come up with nothing else. But it's getting there to oversaturation. But okay, go off. So Raymond comes in the house. And he comes into the area where she's getting ready. She's putting on makeup, getting her hair done, all this other stuff. And so he looking at her, he was like, oh, so we're really in this place right now? Like, because she's not even going to speak to him. It's not good. It's not good. Like I said, this man knows about the emails and all this other stuff. And so she was like, I don't know where we are. Especially since you sit up here going through my stuff. And he realizes that, you know, she has to finally tell him, like, look, I had all that stuff under control, or at least I thought I did. When I found out this is what my father was doing, I was trying to work towards getting your company back. And then you threw a monkey wrench in everything when you had your ex to come into the situation. So it's like, what can I do? So it is what it is. And he talking about he gonna be there, fight for his family, whatever. So everybody is at the soiree, everybody at the function. Angela done showed up with Nikki. They showed out. Like, everybody's costumes and all of it, the hair, down to the hair and everything looks exactly like the time period that they are trying to depict. And before I forget, because I know myself, I know I forget. I'm just curious as to whether or not y'all think that at some point as this show goes along, do you think that they are going to allow Leah and her daughter to have a 360 or a 180 type of a situation where everything comes full circle, or they have a 180 where they realize, like, well, dang, we doing too much and we are not embracing our hair, our actual hair? Because we see Leah with a wig on and her daughter, it's like a lot of times these wigs they be putting on her daughter be making her look a whole fool. And I just be like, maybe they're doing this on purpose for this show so that eventually she will really learn to love herself and understand that even though I have all this money, I don't have to look like the people who don't have to work as hard as me anymore. It's 2021. It's about to be 2022. Let me move forward in my way of thinking about my hair. But anyway, because I knew I was going to forget that. So I just want to put that there. Do y'all agree with the daughter's hair? Because I just be like, what is going on? Leah's daughter's hair. Like, most of the time, he be looking a fool. And I be like, I am all for a wig. I'm all for a woman wearing a wig from time to time. But her wigs be looking wiggy. There are so many wigs that can be made by yourself or by somebody else, and it actually looks like your hair. When me and my sister were growing up, we were in school, people used to ask, was our hair actually our hair or a wig? That's what should be happening if somebody gonna mention a wig. Because like our hair is just naturally thick. It is what it is. Even when my mama was straightening and then she eventually started relaxing our hair, people still had to ask, is that y'all's hair or is it a wig? Like, my sister got offended. It was funny to me when I was a child. My sister really came home crying about it. But it was this dude that liked her that rode our bus that used to, like, he knew that it hurt her feelings, so he would say it to her. And she felt so bad about it. And I'm like, it's funny to me. Because he was like 1 grade higher than me, which means he was three grades below her. Child, I was just like, whatever. No. Yeah, 3. So yeah. I just want to know if y'all are seeing what I'm seeing and wondering what I'm wondering, because I really am a very inquisitive person, and stuff like that makes me look at stuff and I'm like, what y'all got going on here? So anyway, everybody's trying to enjoy their festivities. Child, somebody come over to Teddy, like, I think the grandson, Quincy or whatever his name is, came over to him and was like, there's like news reporters and paparazzi or whatever here, and they want to talk to you. And so he was like, you know what, let me go handle this right now. So he in the process of going off, and then everybody move out of the way. And it's his daughters and their daughters, and they are about to perform like a whole little situation. They about to dance like they did back in the day. It was a whole performance. It really was cute. So, I mean, despite the fact that it's been done to death, as I've said, it was cute. So, you know, he over here like, oh, did y'all have this plan? And it was like, yeah, we had a plan, whatever. So, yeah, y'all. So, one thing that I did forget to mention earlier in the episode, which is that, you know, specifically the son. The son is not here for the family business. That's not his passion. That's not what he wants to do with his life. He wants to play basketball. So, this girl who is the granddaughter of that lead maid or whatever name that they're using for this show, because I know that there are so many different names that you can go by. But anyway, the person who is the lead over all of them, y'all know that woman who gave out directions like, we know what's going on with the family, but to the paparazzi and everybody else, ain't nothing going on. Everything is as usual, business as usual. Don't tell them nothing, but if somebody roll up and say something, you need to come to me and tell me what was said and who said it, whatever. The granddaughter rolled up on him. She was looking for her grandmama. And so she was like, oh, I see that you just came from work. And so she basically was like reading him, but not really, because she knows that he loves basketball. And he was like, well, you know, I got to take over the family business someday. And so she was like, but do you really though? Like, your passion is basketball. And so she could tell that he liked her, but she feels like, you know, if you're not going to be a man about it and say what you really want to happen for you, like, I have to catch you on the flip side or something, because I don't see what it is. Let me know when you're going to be a man about it. Child, so anyway, now after the situation is over, after the function has ended, Leah apparently reached out to her sister Angela, and they both are like in like it's very apparent that it's like nightgown, night robe, sleep attire. Like, I got a robe on or something, a nightgown or whatever. And so she was like, you know, what's going on? That we meeting in a parking lot or whatever. Leah has the bungalow key card. And so she starts explaining to her the situation, which is that she felt some type of way. She made it to the bungalow. She was going to go inside, but she didn't. And she feels some type of way because she's going through with her husband, and she don't want to feel like that. And she feels some type of way about it. So she was like, look, we've all been there. You're going to be all right. Everything is going to be the way it need to be. Like, she really encouraged her. So I was like, look at you encouraging your sister. So anyway, tell me why the son then rolled up to the grandmother's place to talk to the girl and was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was a man about mine. And I rolled up on my daddy. Like, while they were at the function, he rolled up on his daddy and was like, that's not what I want for myself. Of course, Raymond is upset because he was like, this is a legacy that we're leaving behind for you. Like, what you mean? And so he was like, but you taught me to go after what I want. This is not what I want. This ain't my passion. This for y'all. I understand this is something you want to pass down, but it ain't for me. I'm like, child, maybe the daughter don't want it. So anyway, the grandmama ended up rolling up because he was inviting her to come to a bonfire / party. And so she wanted to, but then the grandmama rolled up and was like, what it ain't finna be is this. Like, do what you do, but leave her out of the mix. And so he looked at the girl looked at him and was like, I'm sorry. Had the mouth, I'm sorry. Child, that grandmama don't play. She don't play. So anyway, we see the bungalow. We see the inside of the bungalow. And oh boy, I don't forget what the man's name is. But anyway, we see him. And I don't remember if his name was Jameson, y'all. Because there's like a Jameson on the game reboot. And then there is somebody with the first name or the last name Jameson on another show. I forget if it's this one or not. But anyway, we see the inside of the bungalow, old boy over there getting him something to drink, and we see the door opening. He was like, yeah, go ahead. You got a key, open the door. Not realizing it's Raymond rolling up in there. So he about to put his foot in his mouth. And I don't know if it's just because he knew which bungalow this man was in and paid somebody to give him a key or what. He rolled up on him and told him that he wasn't here for what was going on and it ain't cool. And he was like, look, I done bought you out. And now I can just tell you straight up what it is. You have a great wife. And like, I was like, you trying to die, sir. You are trying to die. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, he really tried to read this man. And he proceeded to beat this man down and walk out. And in that moment, I was just like, no, you're a black man. You're a black man. No, don't do it. Like, I really was like, you're black. Like, the police will be there before you close your car door. Don't do it. He beat this man down and left him for dead, pretty much. But he beat him down. He ain't leave him for dead. I'm just saying. He beat him really, really bad. That man was hurt so bad after he had walked out the door. It's like he tried to get up, and he was like, yeah, let me lay right here because maybe I'll hurt a little bit less if I just lay right here. He beat that man down. So anyway, like I was in the middle of saying earlier, way early in this video. So a situation happened where Nikki was out with her father. And so he saw the police roll up. And it's like he had a moment where his life flashed before his eyes. And then out of nowhere, he blurted out Teddy's lawyer's number or something like that. And so the daughter was like, what? What do you mean? And so then he was like, I was in a store earlier today and they might have profiled me thinking that I did something. It's a mistaken identity situation. Like, I don't know. And so she was like, what was the number again? And like, she only remembered a couple of the numbers. And she was like, Dad, child, the people looked like they was about to run up on him, but they ran past them to go to somebody else. I don't know what the other people did, but he was out of it. And it scared her so bad that when they were at the Great Gatsby party, as I want to call it, she avoided her daddy at all costs. I don't even know if she said, hey, bye, waved at him or nothing that day. So when the ex rolled up and saw the mama at the bar, Angela was at the bar getting her a drink. Child, first of all, Tariq was towed down. He came up in the party, towed down. And Angela tried to put a muzzle on him a little bit because he was really acting out of character. This man was drunk. And so he really like kind of snapped at her. I was like, see, what we're not finna do is this. And so, like he did the most. And wait, I might be getting it mixed up. I know that something happened where she saw them hugging. He saw them hugging. Tariq saw the baby daddy and her hugging. And so he was like, oh, I see what's going on. And like he had came to the house and he saw the hug. And so he was drunk. That's what happened later on. He was drunk. And I was just like, child, don't nobody have time. But anyway, when they were at the function, he rolled up on Angela and told Angela about the scenario. And so she was like, no, she didn't tell me anything about that. Child, she went home and asked her daughter, like, what was going on and why she didn't say anything about it. And it is what it is. And so, now they're going to try to discuss it. I think she was looking in the journals and stuff, trying to understand her father a little bit better, because that really scared her. And she was scared for him. And it was just a lot to take on, because she's never really, yes, she's gotten into trouble before, but to see his reaction and to go into like, I need to protect myself and I need to protect my daddy. It's like, there's too much going on. Like, nobody should have to feel like that. Like, you the child, you should not have to feel like you got to protect your own parent. So anyway, her daughter admired her strength and all that stuff as usual. Child, Leah and her husband had a moment. And so he came in her room, was talking to her. And so, like I said, she explained everything and how she really was trying to fight for their relationship and fight for his company and all this other stuff. So after the conversation was over, she was like, where you going? And so he was like, oh, you said you needed your space, so I'm giving you your space. I'm going to sleep in another room. And so she like, I was like, ma'am. So anyway, of course, sex was happening again, because as she already stated earlier to her sister, the sex has always been amazing with them. Well, we see Nate. And not Nate. Where I get Nate from? Y'all, wait a minute. I'm looking at this man. I done got the times and stuff mixed up. What happened was after the function, because he was drunk at the function. He was getting drunk at the function. And he was already kind of on one then and didn't want to talk. She wanted to be serious. That's what happened, y'all. She really wanted to talk to him because she knew that he wasn't taking anything serious right now. Really wasn't trying to talk and just not expressing his feelings. So she wanted to try to take a moment to talk to him. And so he was like, we can do that later on. This is a fun event. This is a celebration. Let's do it later. Because he really was about to try to take her off somewhere and have sex again in an effort not to talk. So when I just said what I said about him rolling up and seeing them hug, this is at the end of this episode. He had his feelings and he done left out. I'm like, child, you're drunk. You're drunk. And he really trying to go off. I'm like, they hugged. My thing is, I would be worried if I saw them kissing. That was a hug. But he's drunk, so it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure he already was feeling some type of way anyway. And y'all already know that liquid courage has a tendency to make people say some things that they probably would have never said had that not been in their system. But anyway, that was the episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Let's talk about it down in the comment section.